top priority. During this time, JN Money encourages customers to send money safely and conveniently using our JN Money online service. For cash pickup, to the JN Money card, to bank accounts in Jamaica, and to pay bills directly in Jamaica. With fast, safe, and convenient services, JN Money will help you find a way. Stay safe. JN Money Services USA Incorporated, a licensed money transmitter in Connecticut, District of Columbia, Maryland, New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania. License number FT 71415, Massachusetts Foreign Transmitter Agency.
Hello, Kevin. You ever hear about Index Universal Life?
No, what that?
Well, we all know saving for a rainy day is good, but if you really want to get the most out of your saving, here's an account called IUL, Index Universal Life.
So, how this work? Or where we can get such an account?
An Index Universal Life account is offered by insurance companies and will give you more benefits than any other place where you can save.
Yeah man, okay, sounds good. But how it work?
By saving $1 a month monthly in the Index Universal Life account, you can get excellent growth on your money, safety of your funds, tax advantages when you're ready to withdraw, and with every Index Universal Life account, you will have life insurance that pays out money for qualified illnesses as well as death benefits to your family in case of death.
Yo, that's a lot of information, and I wasn't writing.
No worries, man. For more information or to start an Index Universal Life account, call 718-772-7679 and ask for Ione. Remember, call Ione at 718-772-7679 and ask about the Index Universal Life account.
Okay, got it. Call 718-772-7679.
Yeah, man. Call Ione 718-772-7679. Ask about the Index Universal Life account.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's here. Have you ever experienced a bad workmanship? Someone who work at your house and you're not satisfied, but you can't find good help? Well, look no further. Quicklink Construction is a licensed general construction company that's fully insured for the 5 boroughs and Westchester. A one-stop construction company that will cater to your needs. Experience is what counts in this business, and we have the experience for more than 35 years. So if you need a paint job, call us. If the roof is talking to you, call us. If your garage won't open, call us. If you need a new paint job, call us. If you try to do the work yourself and your wife won't talk to you, call us. 914-665-0106. Quicklink Construction. No job too big, no job too small. Just call us. 914-665-0106. 914-665-0106. We have the experience. Quicklink Construction.
And I know.
New York, I introduce the best ice cream factory located in Mount Vernon, 408 East Sanford Boulevard. Call and place your order at 914-699-1349. We also do delivery from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. We have the most Jamaican flavors: grape nut, pistachio grape nut, rum and razor, Jamaican rum and razor, sour milk ice cream, sugar-free ice cream, stoned ice cream cake, peach grape nut, and more. Also check out Papa Deli's right next door. When you talk about jerk chicken, jerk pork, roast fish, fried fish, and roast corn, contact me at 914-699-0145. Also check out our juice bar with our smoothies, boosters, mash, and therapy juices. 408 East Sanford Boulevard. Ice cream, jerk chicken, roast fish and corn, and over them it on.
CB Jerk Center, 150 West 3rd Street, Mount Vernon, New York. Catering for all occasions. Call and place your order at 914-863-0188 or 646-294-3939 or 917-870-4088. Check out our menu. We have curry goat, curry chicken, fried chicken, brown stew chicken, jerk and stew pork, stew peas, oxtail, brown stew fish, $12 and upwards. Goes by order. Steamed fish, $12 and upwards. Also goes by order. Steamed vegetables. All meals come with white rice or rice and peas with vegetable. Check out the soup menu. We have chicken soup, red pea soup, seafood soup, goated soup at CB Jerk Center, 150 West 3rd Street, Mount Vernon, New York. Catering for all occasions. Big up the top chef Conroy and his wife. Big up the two grill masters, Courtney and Ron. So remember to check out CB Jerk Center, 150 West 3rd Street, Mount Vernon, New York. Catering for all occasions.
Pass me a flask, let me tell the things them. People never know the rum talk and me a sing them. Ali Brand the rum boss I represent. Remember Dillis Rum, Butch's Wine and Spirit Inc. Of all of the alcoholic beverages you need. From a pink to a anchor, Moscato, Merlot, Hennessy, Douce, Tiger Bone, Ginseng, Ryan Nephew Rum, Appleton, Myers Rum, Stone Ginger Wine, Red Label, Taylor Port, Fairbanks, Mount Gay, Sangster, Rum Bar, Jamaica Brandy, Syrah, Grey Goose, Jack Daniels, Johnny Walker and more. You're drinking or joking, open hours. Monday to Thursday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Friday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday. Address 104 South 4th Avenue, Mount Vernon, New York, 10550. It makes sense to save you dollars. Contact 914-699-7267. Email us at DutchessWineandSpirit@gmail.com. Must be 21 and over to drink. 40 minimum delivery. Drink responsibly.
Are you looking for a way to ship your valuables to Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean islands? Well, guess what? It's all about Quality One International Shipping Express Corp. They provide a one-stop, hassle-free, customer-friendly environment, quick and efficient service guarantee. Quality One does sailing to Kingston, Montego Bay, and the entire Caribbean. Shipment includes barrels, boxes, crates, motor vehicle, motorcycle, household appliances, furniture, anything you want to ship. Quality One International Shipping Express Corp can ship it. Quality One is located at 3913 Dyer Avenue in the Bronx. That's 3913 Dyer Avenue, Bronx, New York. Or you can find them at 941A Utica Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Telephone number for the Bronx location is 718-231-1909. Or give them a call in Brooklyn. Number is 718-484-0917. So if you're looking for a safe and a dependable way to send your valuables to the Caribbean islands, check out Quality One International Shipping Express Corp.
Oh, plead my cause, oh Jah. I don't know Julex I represent for Linkage Radio 104.5 FM. I def them.
You're locked on to the number one radio station. Number one radio station.
Oh, they play the best music.
Number one. The best music for your listening pleasure.
Are hungry? Come to Cooler Runnings Restaurant. Located at 1802 Nerid Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx, we specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
Well, 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 well. It is Monday. Yes, it is. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, everybody. Monday, Monday. Oh, how the time is going by quickly. A very pleasant good afternoon to you, good morning to you, good evening to you, wherever you are tuning in from. Welcome to the program. International Women's Month continues and we're winding down nicely, wouldn't you say? A lot has been done, a lot has been said, introductions made, and you've learned so much about people you never heard about. Some you have, and you learned even more. Welcome to the show. The Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. This is Inside the Zone, the community platform where information is guaranteed. My name is Denise Lady D. Gomez. At 17 minutes after 5 o'clock, I am your host, producer, and presenter. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. Don't forget the show is brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. My hashtags this afternoon, ITZ The Monday Drive, hashtag ITZ Host Lady D, ITZ Radio, ITZ Community Life. You may also email me at insidethezonanyc@gmail.com. 18 minutes after 5 o'clock. How was your weekend? I have so much to tell you about my weekend. I did something that perhaps a lot of you are never gonna do, you know? But I did something this weekend and I'll be sharing that with you at 6 o'clock. And of course, joining me this afternoon, as always, is signradio.net. That's Sign FM 88.9. And of course, CaribbeanVibesRadio.com, Caribbean Vibes Radio Network. Chris Wilby will be joining me at 6 o'clock. And of course, this afternoon's program has a different format. You know how I do. Usually on a Monday, I'm featuring voices and a Jamaica ting and all of that. But because I have a very special guest at 5:30 this evening or afternoon, then, you know, I'm going to have to make adjustments to accommodate a very special lady. International Women's Month highlights interesting features on women, for women, and by women. My guest this evening at 5:30 p.m. is Mrs. Antoinette Banton Ellis, and she'll be joining me for an enlightening conversation on her role as principal of Vere Technical High School located in Hayes, Clarendon, Jamaica, and her involvement in community and her long-term goals. It promises to be great. Can I tell you? Yes. She's an awesome person doing great things in the community and the school. And of course, I attended Vere Technical High School, so how could I not have Mrs. Banton Ellis with me this afternoon? How could I not? 20 minutes after 5 o'clock. And coming up, as always, the Monday Beat, chasing the Monday Blues out of here, so I got some music for you. And in 10 minutes, we'll be talking to Mrs. Banton Ellis. I hope you're all doing well on a Monday. And you've been glued to your television set. So I have been on a 40-day fast, which has now ended, right? I did my 40 days. It was very rewarding. And I'm going to be doing a lot more as I progress in my Christian life. But in the office, we usually have our television on. For the 40 days, I didn't turn it on. But of course, now that the trial has begun, you know, for George, there you go. TV's back on, and I'm in the know. Keeping you in the know at 6 o'clock. Our telephone number is 914-600-4228. That is 914-600-4228. It is now time for me to get the show on the road. Are you ready to join me? I hope that you are sharing the link. Those of you who are on my YouTube channel, you have subscribed to the channel. I would like you to share and let someone know that I am here and the afternoon is going to be fine. The afternoon is going to go well. So stay with me. Don't go anywhere. My name is Denise, Lady D Gomez. Are you ready for some music? Let's get started here in the Monday Beat, chasing the Monday blues out of here.
You think one dance will do, then I'll go home with you. You're crazy. One dance just won't do. One dance just won't do. No, it takes much more, you see, just to go out with me. You're crazy. That man standing in your way, he's my man and he don't play. No, he don't play. Oh, I just wanted to see what he would do if I did with another man. I was flirting with you just to see what he would do. I let you hold me tight, squeeze me with all your might while dancing. I didn't know my touch turned you on so much while dancing. That man standing in your way, he's my man and he don't play. Ooh, I just wanted to see what he would do if I danced with another man. I was flirting with you just to see what he would do. Woo, 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 woo.
25 minutes after 5 o'clock. Good afternoon, everyone. The Monday Drive is on, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. Don't forget our telephone number is 914-600-4228. And I go to the phone line. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Banton Ellis. On the line with me here in New York, straight from Yard, straight from Jamaica.
I'm telling you. Thank you so much for having me on the program today.
Yes, Mrs. Banton Ellis. How are you doing? How are you doing?
I'm doing exceptionally well. The weather is really good out here at this time, even though we're facing this pandemic.
Yes.
I must say we're doing pretty well.
Nice. And how did it go with the lockdown for you?
I enjoyed it. It was good time to be home with family and getting a little rest, playing a little game. You know, you play those board games, Ludi board, and those things you didn't get a chance to do because you were working every day. So it was really good spending more quality time at home.
Well, you see that now because there are so many other people who are disgruntled from an economic standpoint, right? And, you know, they consider it as though the persons who have the money, the well-to-do ones, they're not the ones complaining, but the ones who are down in the trenches are the ones who are grappling quite a bit about it. But we know that it has its place, and the government has to do...
It's all for all of us. It's in the best interest of every Jamaican to just adhere to the rules. In the long run, regardless of our economic standing, we will benefit eventually. It's still better than being in the hospitals. It's still better than not getting a ventilator or oxygen. So you just have to make the best use of it. And that's something that we're good at as Jamaicans.
I agree with you. So welcome. It is my pleasure having you here on the show this afternoon because we aim to please, and we are going to have a great conversation today about what you have been doing in Jamaica and why I chose you as, you know, my guest this afternoon, the woman in the mirror. So, ladies and gentlemen, so go ahead and say your hellos, Mrs. Banton Ellis, before we start talking.
I definitely want to say hello to the Vera Technical High School family, present and past students. Special hello to my mother, Viola Joyce Banton, past student of Vera Technical High School too, and to my wonderful husband, Devon Ellis, and my two wonderful daughters, Samantha and Annalise. Shout out to everybody from New Longville, where I'm from.
There you go. Hello to all the New Longville Heights. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on time. It is 5:30 here in New York, 4:30 in Jamaica. I would like to introduce you to Mrs. Antoinette Banton Ellis. She has been engaged in the education system for 26 years and serving in administration for 13 years. She currently serves as principal of Vera Technical High School with a student population of 1,959, 118 academic staff, and 44 non-academic staff. Mrs. Banton Ellis has been married for 24 years, in which she has two beautiful teenage daughters. Mrs. Banton Ellis studied at Western Carolina University, in which she successfully graduated with a Master's of Arts in Education. She was also commissioned to serve as Justice of the Peace for Jamaica since 2021. Mrs. Banton Ellis is interested in traveling, reading, especially leadership books such as Bad Leadership, What It Is, How It Happens, Why It Matters by Barbara Kellerman, and Heroic Leadership, Leading with Integrity and Honor. And most of all, her main passion lies in gardening, in which she presently has approximately 30 different variety of flowers in her home garden. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Banton Ellis. Mrs. Banton Ellis, I should perhaps be placing an order.
Listen, that actually started when I was at Spanish Town Primary. And you know, the stress of being in education, the doctor once said to me, you need to find a hobby. You can't just be working every day. So he had encouraged me to get into gardening. And it just started with one plant, and every weekend going to different places in Jamaica to get different plants, and we want the best price. And then from there, it just kept growing and growing and growing. I hope eventually when I retire, I actually go into the area of actually selling some of these plants. But I enjoy it. I enjoy being at home, taking care of my plants, having my conversations with them, wondering why some would die and some would flourish very well. But it's a part of life, and I enjoy it.
Yes, I'm glad. So let it be known, I am the first to place an order.
Yes.
Okay.
Now,
Now,
and at this stage, this is a good time to get from because I'm not into selling. Once I have extra, I just give it out to persons. Especially if I know you really love plants.
yes.
I like to exchange or just give plants as gifts because
Oh, we lost her. She'll call us back in a few minutes. Mrs. Antoinette Banton Ellis, principal of Vere Technical High School. And as you heard her, she loves her plants. And we will be having a great discussion this afternoon, quite informative and enlightening. She has been doing so much at Vere Technical High School. I attended Vere Technical High School, and at the time, it was Ben Francis who was our principal, and she has brought her own. She has brought her own administrative.
I am back with you.
I realize that. I was just sharing a bit of who you are to our audience who are joining in. I'd like to say good afternoon to everyone. Now, Mrs. Banton Ellis, let's start off our conversation, because now that you are a part of my Woman in the Mirror for International Women's Month, I would like to start it off by saying, just in case one of these days we do it something like this, and the Principal of the Year award goes to Mrs. Antoinette Banton Ellis. Yay! And you get the applause, right? So, Mrs. Banton Ellis, your track record precedes you. And so you are inside the zones, Woman in the Mirror. So you're at the podium now and you're about to receive your award, right? But before that, we have to talk a little bit before I hand you the actual award. How about that?
Yes. Okay, I'll work with that.
You work with that. So let's start talking. Now, my first question to you, because I thought about the questions I needed to ask you so that our conversation will be so engaging. Mrs. Banton Ellis, do you remember the first word you spelled at what age?
I'm not sure if I can remember the first word and the age, but I can remember a particular incident when I was in primary school. At that time, I think the teacher's name is Mrs. Henry. I hope I got her name right still. And you were doing, in Jamaica, they ask you to stand and you do your spelling of words. And I was second in place. She gave the first person the word to spell and said, Antoinette, your word will be elephant. So I looked at my pencil, and the word elephant was on the pencil. So I just scribbled it down. And when my turn came, I was able to spell it with much vigor, man, and surety of myself. Very good, Antoinette. At break time, and I think that was in grade 3, at break time, this young classmate of mine, young man, he said to me, the only reason you got it correct is because I saw when you looked on your pencil and the word elephant was there. And I smiled and said, as long as I get it right, that is what is most important. That was my first lesson in life, to say, I have to be resilient in anything I'm going to do in life. You don't know it all, but you definitely have to be resilient in whatever resources you find and have in life. And I felt good just the same.
So congratulations.
And that stands out in my mind very well.
So elephant, wherever you are. We don't know what year that pencil was made. You remember?
I'm not sure, but I think we were in grade 3. So if you're in grade 3, you're maybe about 8.
All right. So
yes,
there you go. So your first word was elephant. Now, as you and I know that it takes a village, right, to raise a child. And if you were able to make a comparison between the involvements of your community when you were growing up, then and now, what would that be?
We need each other. And our culture is one where we look out for each other. I know big cities now, persons don't know their neighbors and so on, but still being a island girl, country girl, because I still live in the rural area, we have to look out for each other. Is the child supposed to be home at this time, especially now with COVID? Are the persons in my community, are they online? Why are they not online? So, you still get involved. You still ask questions. And know that society has changed somewhat. People tend to, and I put that in quotation marks, to think that you're meddling. It's a new era where we think persons are meddling, but you still have to bring across to them that it takes all of us to be vigilant in our community, to look out for each other. And so we still do that, especially for my rural community. I still bake and take things to my neighbors. This weekend I had extra chicken, and I just dropped off 2 at different homes. Because the truth is I didn't have enough space in the fridge, and I got the chicken, so you might as well,
Yes, yes.
So we still look out for each other and their children. And one of the most beautiful things, that Jamaicans feel that the village is needed. Everybody is needed for this child to be successful. On a professional level, I remember when I just became principal at Beulah All Age in 2008, Miss Elfrida McCullough, teacher at the school, lower school, grade 1, she would take home my children every evening because I had to pass her house to go home. And when you're in administration and you really want to go the extra mile, you have to give extra hours. And I can remember, her contribution in taking my kids, helping them until I get home, pick them up to take them home. It made a difference for me to be able to do my job.
Yes.
Presently, even in our community, and I'll always make reference to my direct community, we look out for each other. Why is the child out at this hour of the night? Where are you going? Come on, come with me, go back home. We talk to the parents. This is not acceptable. And it comes back to the approach. It could be because of my position in the community where I don't face the resistance as much as I will hear while on the job. It's a totally different when you're on the job and when you're in the community. But the community is still important.
Yes.
It defines who we are, and we must look out for each other. And it's still there. It's still there a lot.
It is still
there. I can still go, I can hear a little whisper in the community that so-and-so is not in school. And I can still drive up there, walk my way to the house, say good evening. Why is so-and-so not in school? What's going on? And then we see how we can assist.
Right.
So it is still there. And, I know this phrase that says, if the child does not get the support from the community, he's going to burn it down to get the attention. So we have to support the children.
Oh, thank you for that. Thank you for that. If you're just joining us, Mrs. Antoinette Banton Ellis. She's principal of Vere Technical High School, and our enlightening conversation this afternoon is centered around her involvement in her community, her school, and her long-term goals. Now, Mrs. Banton Ellis, you are a past student of the illustrious track and field.
Yes.
The illustrious track and field dominated Vere Technical High School. And I want to find out from you, what were your early years like at Vere Technical High School?
I enjoyed every moment of it. I can still recall the classrooms I was in. I can still recall some of the teachers. I can still make connection with good friends who I did classes with. So I enjoyed every moment at Vere Technical High School. And the truth is, you grew up with strict parents, so I had to be at home at a certain time. Now that I'm here as an administrator, to be honest, I didn't even know some of the different areas of Vere Technical High School, even though I spent 4 years here. I've never gone to the dorms until I became principal.
Really?
I did work on the farm, but I never went as far as the pig pen. Never did.
Oh.
So I never went as far as the chicken houses. No. I was a good girl while I was at school. From home, church, and school. Never did anything else outside of that. Sometimes, even when you had Mr. Francis, then Francis would talk about students leaving school early. Because that time we didn't have the wall as fence. It was just barbed wire.
Yes.
And he will make reference to the children hiding away. It never crossed my mind because I knew I had to go home and face my father. So I never gave any trouble at school, and I enjoyed my time here at Veer Technical High School. I have to interject one of the most fond memories that I had here. Two of them. I love those girls who played netball.
Yes.
There was just something about them in those days, in the late 80s. They were just dynamic. I would not miss any netball competition at Veertech just to see how graceful they were. They were real champions in their own right. And sports-wise, for me at Veer was a big thing. And I remember the first time our principal at the time, Ben Francis, took us to boys and girls champs and full up the bus and rented additional bus for us. Oh my gosh, it was an experience. It was my first time at the National Stadium. And that left a big impact on me to say, you know, this is what Veer Technical High School is all about. And so I never forgot those two incidents as it relates to Veer Technical High School. And then I remembered something else, you know. There's some point at Veer, prices kept increasing. At that time, we used to get $50 per day for school, and the prices of things kept going up. I went to my father and I said to him, Dad, $50 will not suffice for school every day. And he said to me, I was to cut my spending to fit my income. I never forgot that.
Oh, dear. So
and that was when I learned the value of money. I learned the value of budgeting. And it really had an impact to me, all that I could have done differently with $50. So I hold on to those three memories very closely as it relates to Veer Technical High School.
Oh, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Monday Drive, a shortened edition.
Hello?
Hello? Are you hearing me? Hello?
I'm not hearing.
Hello? All right, she's having some difficulties there. But if you are just joining us, that is the voice of Antoinette Banton Ellis, principal of Veer Technical High School. She is my woman in the mirror this afternoon, and I'm having a really good conversation with her. Thank you for joining us again, Mrs. Banton Ellis. Hello? Okay. Hello? Are you there? Are you hearing me now? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, are you hearing me now?
My line is open, but I'm not here.
Hello? Okay. Yes, she's having some challenges calling from Jamaica. But she has been really instrumental in bringing the school to an exceptional... Hello?
Oh, we're back.
Yes, we're back. All right. So we keep moving. That's how it is every now and again. Don't worry about that. Now, let's pop this big question. Principal of Veer Technical High School, how did that happen? I want to know. We want to know.
Listen, I'm going to cut this story very short and to the point. While I was at Beulah College, I always told my staff that once my daughters reach high school, I'm going to move on. I applied for primary school again as principal, and I turned up for the interview. But once I was there was a spirit inside of me that said, you are at the wrong place. You are not to be at this institution. I called my education officer and I said to her, listen, I'm not going in for this interview. I don't want the job. And she said, no, Mrs. Ellis, you're already there, and common courtesy requires that you attend this interview. And I said, okay. When I went inside for the interview, you have your panel of persons, and I was just enjoying myself. Because I knew I didn't want the job anymore, I answered my questions really well, but I was really enjoying myself. At the end, the interim principal said to me, Mrs. Ellis, where do you find yourself in the next 5 years? I did laugh really loud, and I said to him, I'm so sorry you asked me that question, but I'm going to also be very honest. I see myself as being principal for Vere Technical High School.
Okay.
And everybody just started laughing in the interview. The education officer who was there said to me, Mrs. Ellis, but Vere is up for principal, but you're late. I said, is that so? At the end of the day, I did send in my application, but they had rejected the application and said I was late. The deadline had passed. I said, Lord, no good school going to find the right person on the first go.
I love your approach.
So the position was advertised again, and I applied. Now, you have to really be determined in life. My good friend, a very dear friend of mine, very close friend, he was placed first for the job, and I was placed second. When I found out, I laughed again and said, Lord, if it is your will, let it be done. I know my friend did not want the position here. And so said, so done. He declined the position, and that is how I actually became principal in 2017. So it has been the Lord's direction that has made it possible for me to be here as principal.
And this leads me
but it has been an experience.
Wonderful. Because it also leads me into asking you to share, the accomplishments over the years since you've been there as principal.
Actually, our performance has increased because one of our vision, even as a technical school, and I have to interject because your personal values will come into the institution, and being a past student too, the impact that the institution had on me will come over into the job.
Yes.
So I can recall I got my first job when I left the Vere Technical High School because I was the only person at the interview who could use an electric typewriter at that age, in those days. Thanks to Ben Francis at all times. When other schools did not have an electric typewriter, we had it here.
Yes.
And so, that stands out for me. So here at Vere Technical High School, we are saying to the students, you must not leave here with no less than 5 C6 subjects. More but not less. But you must also leave with either your NCTVET or your CVQ or the City and Guilds certification. Because you must leave here with your skill because skill is true power.
Yes.
And so we have been growing academically wise because the children actually buy into the vision that they need to leave school with their subjects regardless of what they're going to do in life. And they must leave here with a skill. And one of the things I keep saying to my students, I did not say you're going to be a barber. I did not say you're going to be a cosmetologist or you're going to do food and beverage in the hotel. But the mere fact that you have this skill, when you leave Vere Technical High School, it means that when you're in college, university, you can do some side work to help yourself throughout school. And that is what is important to us. You can go into business, so you can still be a lawyer, your doctor, your nurse, your teacher, but you're still an entrepreneurial person.
Yes.
Where you, because of some skill you learned here at Vere Technical High School, you are now employing persons and you're adding to the economy of the country. And so that's a big vision that we're pushing, and the students have bought into it, and we have been growing in that way. Our school farm, we aim to be one of the best in the island, because I say to the students, regardless of who you are in life, you need to eat. And I'm going to tell them every day that farmers make a lot of money, believe it or not. Not that they don't have struggles, especially small farmers, but I always tell them to think big. So we are emphasizing a lot on the agriculture, and with the collaboration with the Ministry of Education, we are presently doing the furniture project here. So we are actually making desks and chairs to be sold to other schools. And that makes it a skill for our students when they leave here.
So woodwork
So
department
regardless of the
working.
theory that you will
Yes.
learn, we want to make sure you get that practical experience.
Yes.
So when you leave their technical high school, it is that experience that will cause somebody to want to employ you right away compared to somebody else who only has the theory, right? So we are moving ahead with that. There is big for sports, especially girls,
Yes.
in the girls' championship.
Oh,
And
yes, we
we
know.
have fallen, yes, but we are working to build back ourselves to get back on top. So within a few years, we surely will be a force to be reckoned with.
Okay.
So Very Technical High School is doing that 360 degree as it relates to making sure our students are ready for the workforce, ready to move on in tertiary education, regardless of what their desires are in life. And we still keep the flag of Very Technical High School flying high as it relates to sports. But it will take time.
Wonderful.
And for me, determination is the key to success.
Wonderful. And
You know
we
the Jamaican say education is, but I
Yes.
tell my children it is determination that will make the difference.
Of course, and we are flying high. I'm here as a past student. You're the principal, and we're here having a great conversation. Isn't that something? So the flag is being
I'm telling you.
waved high, of course, flown high. Now we're wrapping up because I do have another segment coming up shortly. But in a nutshell, what improvements would you like to see in the education system in Jamaica?
I must commend the government. They have been doing quite a lot. I'm not a person that might not be informed, but there's a lot of opportunity there for children. When you consider even the PASS program that is there, I tell the children all the time, oh, couldn't they just put me on this program? It doesn't, it's not just about a meal. It is more geared towards education, so they get that opportunity to come to school every day. There is that, I think it's 100,000 they get to go on to university. They cover the expense for some of their CSEC subjects. Let me say, children should not leave school in this day and time and say that they did not get the opportunity. The opportunities are there. But at Very Technical High School, what we're trying to do is to say to them, we are trying to educate them of these opportunities and their parents. Yes, we know that technology now, with this pandemic, has shown that we need to do more in the area of technology, especially providing enough internet service for the whole island.
Yes.
It will not happen overnight, but I must commend them that they are trying and doing as much. But I also like to say to persons, be resilient. I don't live in a community that has the internet. So I relocate my children with their grandmother, and it means that I'm doing two houses at the same time, two homes, trying to make sure everything is working. Even for myself, if I'm doing workshops or Zoom meetings, I have to position myself in a place where I have internet access. And we say to students, it is those who make themselves resilient who will make it in life. None of us will always have all we need to be successful in life. But the persons who make it are those who adapt themselves according to the situation they're in. So for us as a country, we have come a far way.
Yes.
When I look at my own children, when I look at the children here at Very Technical High School or in the education system in general, it is far better from where we were coming from as children. So kudos to those in the Ministry of Education, for those who are putting their input, and for persons to understand that no system is exactly perfect.
You have been awesome, Mrs. Banton Ellis. I tell you, we learned so much about you. And finally, here is a fun segment. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. So I would like you to give me one-word answers to the following. Starting off, education.
Okay.
Education.
Accessible.
Jamaica is...
wonderful.
Nice. Ben Francis.
Best principal in the world. Sorry, you asked for one word, but I couldn't give one there. So extraordinary.
Extraordinary. Okay. Track and field.
There.
All right. Vere Technical High School. Hello.
Superb.
Okay. All right. Oh, we had to dig deep for that one. No, not a problem.
Yes. You can have to stick to the one word.
Yes. Academic excellence.
Number one.
Mm-hmm. And finally, Antoinette, finally on my list of my fun segment, Antoinette Banton Ellis.
Determination.
All right. Bravo. Thank you. The woman in the mirror this afternoon, Antoinette Banton Ellis. She is principal of Vere Technical High School. And I enjoyed the conversation with you this afternoon, Mrs. Banton Ellis, and I wish you continuing success at Vere Technical High School. And you know that the diaspora, Canada, U.S., and all over, they have been pooling in.
Did I lose you again?
Perhaps. Are you hearing me? Hello? Yes, we lost her. But, you know, there is a WhatsApp group of which I'm a part, Vere Technical High School. And recently, you know, a donation was...
Did I lose you again?
Yes, are you there?
Yes, I'm back.
Yes, so we are winding down. I have a minute to go. But I was just telling our audience about the Vere Technical High School WhatsApp group and the overwhelming support that the school recently received. Could you just do a quick plug as to what the school received from us?
We received over $1.8 million for the chicken project. That's for the rehabilitation of the farm as it relates to chickens that we want to use for both teaching and learning process. And I must say this is one of the greatest moves that the past students have made to have an impact on the institution.
Yes.
I want to say thanks to them and thanks to all those who have joined the group. Please, for those who are out there, please join your group. Your school is as strong as your participation. And I want to say thanks especially to the Florida chapter. They have always been assisting the school as it relates to scholarships and paying for C6 subjects for students. And you are making an impact in not just Vere Technical High School, but for Jamaica itself and the wider society.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Mrs. Banton Ellis. Love you. And I know that there are persons...
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me on.
Oh, indeed. And, you know, now there are people who are listening and they are like, oh, I remember Vere. But a lot of times they're linking us to our track and field prowess, you know. But there's so much more that is taking place on the ground in Hayes, Clarendon. Again, God's blessings to you. And as we say in Jamaica, walk good.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your program.
All right. Thank you so much. That was Antoinette Banton Ellis, principal of Vere Technical High School. Good afternoon. The show continues, keeping you in the know with news, happenings, and facts. Coming up next. Yes, search for the hero.
For the hero inside yourself.
The woman in the mirror, Antoinette Banton Ellis, principal of Vere Technical High School. And of course, it leads me right now into keeping you in the know with news, happenings, and facts. And my other hero is on the other end of the line. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Lady D. Denise Gomez. How are you?
Chris Wilby. We're good. It's a beautiful Monday. How is it over in your area?
Just as beautiful. Nice and cool.
Nice and cool. I love that. I love
Yes.
that.
Just the way we like it.
It's called spring, right?
Yes.
In Jamaica,
Yeah.
we never used to talk
Getting
about
there.
spring, Chris. Were we mentioning nothing about spring?
Spring what?
We just know every day is the same, right? Except when,
Every day is just
except when
it's Christmas season.
I was
we call
about
it
to
the
say
Christmas
that.
breeze.
Mhm. I was about to say that too. That's the time when you say, Lord, breeze a blow from up north over so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You say you're cool. Lord have mercy. I wish I could get someone else
But you
cool
have
sometimes.
to understand, even in Florida too, my aunt went to church, when was it? Last Sunday. Then she's saying how it's so cold. She had to put on a little jacket. So I said to her, what was the temperature? She says 60. But then again, I'm like, it's relative.
Yeah.
Because they're accustomed to
Yeah,
their
yeah.
80s and 90s and stuff like that. So poor thing, when they get 60,
Exactly.
everything get blown out of the water. So again, ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is here inside the zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez, and
Chris Wilby from Caribbean Vibes Radio Network.
that's how we roll. Welcome, everyone. It is now time for Keeping You in the Know with News, Happenings, and Facts, brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. If you're just joining us, welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
When you are hungry, come to Cooler Runnings Restaurant. Located at 1802 Nereid Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx, we specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
Keeping you in the know, brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. Our telephone number is 914-600-4228, 914-600-4228. This is Linkage Radio 104.5, 101.7 FM. Keeping You in the Know is broadcast Mondays from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Chris Wilby, you have the first introduction for the headline of the afternoon.
Good afternoon once again to you, Lady D. Good afternoon to all the listeners on their various platforms. We start off this evening with news coming out of CNN. And the headline says, Virginia Beach officer who shot a man to death did not activate his body cam, police said. The police officer who shot a man to death while responding to multiple shooting incidents in Virginia Beach, Virginia, late Friday night, did not have his body camera turned on. The officer was wearing a body cam, but for unknown reasons, at this point in time, it was not activated. Virginia Beach Police Chief Paul Nottegate said at a news conference Saturday night. Virginia State Police have not released the identity of the officer who fired the shot. that killed Donovan Lynch, a 25-year-old black man. I do not have the answers that the community is looking for in regards to this death right now, Naughty said. He added that they have not yet interviewed the officer involved in the shooting and don't know why the body-worn camera was not turned on. Lynch was killed in the 300 block at 20th Street, a block away from where 28-year-old Deshalia Harris died in a separate shooting, according to police. The chief pushed back on reports that Lynch was unarmed, saying, "What I can tell you is that there was a firearm recovered in the vicinity of where this incident occurred." The officer involved in the man's fatal shooting is being placed on administrative assignment during an investigation, which is standard procedure according to police. The Commonwealth attorney in Virginia Beach told CNN they will conduct their own independent simultaneous investigation into Friday's officer-involved shooting. Macy Allen, public information officer with the Office of the Commonwealth Attorney in the city of Virginia Beach, told CNN in an email that in an officer-involved shooting in Virginia Beach, the Commonwealth Attorney's Office conducts an independent simultaneous investigation using one of our office's investigators. She said the police department conducts their own investigation and provides us with their findings. We then review both investigations and determine whether or not charges are appropriate. The unnamed officer will be interviewed by the Commonwealth Attorney's Office, Allen said. Nautigate said that there were no immediate plans to ask the Virginia State Police to conduct an independent investigation. A total of 10 people were injured by gunfire, including the 2 who died in 3 separate shootings on Friday in Virginia Beach, police said. 3 people have been arrested in connection with the first shooting that is unrelated to the 2 separate shootings that killed Lynch and Harris, police said. The shooting appears to have resulted from a fight among a group of people on Atlantic Avenue, police said in a press release Saturday afternoon. We now know that what started out as a physical fight, an argument into a physical fight, that at some point escalated into gunfire, Nautigate said. 3 men ages 20, 22, and 18 were arrested, and each charged with 7 counts of felonious assault, use of a firearm in commission of a felony, and reckless handling of a firearm in connection with the incident, according to police. No one died at the scene of the first shooting on Atlantic Avenue, police said. As officers responded to the Atlantic Avenue incident, police heard more gunshots nearby and found Harris shot. She died at the scene, police said. Nautigate said police believe Harris was an innocent victim, probably struck by stray gunfire, unrelated to the officer-involved shooting.
Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin knelt on George Floyd for 9 minutes and 29 seconds, prosecutors said Monday, correcting the 8 minutes and 46 timing that has become a symbol of police brutality. In opening statements of Chauvin's criminal trial, prosecuting attorney Jerry Blackwell repeatedly emphasized the new 9 minutes and 29 timing, telling jurors they were the 3 most important numbers in this case. He broke down the timing of Chauvin's kneeling into 3 seconds, 4 minutes and 45 seconds, as Floyd cried out for help, 53 seconds, as Floyd failed due to seizures, and 3 minutes and 51 seconds as Floyd was non-responsive. Chauvin's defense similarly accepted the new timing as accurate to support its own arguments. The evidence is far greater than 9 minutes and 29 seconds. Attorney Eric Nicholson said in his opening, noting the many interviews and documents that he said would prove Chauvin is not guilty. The 43-second difference between 8:46 and 9:29 has little impact on the case itself, but the 8:46 number had taken on a power of its own since Floyd died under Chauvin's knee on 25 May 2020. Prosecutors, including Democratic members of Congress, have held moments of silence for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Kneeling and Dying's comedian Dave Chappelle released a stand-up special about police violence and anti-black racism titled Simply 846. The number even have its own Wikipedia page. And just minutes before the trial began on Monday, members of Floyd's family and allies, including Rev. Al Sharpton and attorney Benjamin Crump, went down on one knee for 846 to commemorate his death. The Hennepin County Attorney's Office has now corrected that timing several times. The 846 timing initially was included in a criminal complaint against Chauvin. That number was based on bystander video of Floyd's death that went viral and led to public outrage. The video, which is over 10 minutes long in all, begins with Chauvin already on Floyd's neck, so it was not immediately clear how long he had been on Floyd prior to the video start. In June, weeks after the initial complaint, the Hennepin County Attorney's Office told CNN that Chauvin actually had his knee on Floyd for 7 minutes and 46 seconds. Quote, "These kinds of technical matters can be handled in future amendments to the criminal complaint if other reasons make it necessary to amend the complaint between now and any trials," unquote. The county said in a statement, adding the error quote, "made no difference," unquote, in the decision to charge the former officer. Evidence from the officer's body cameras released in later months led to the timing of over 9 minutes.
2 teenage girls have been charged in the carjacking death of an Uber Eats driver this week in Washington, D.C., police said. Mohammed Anwar, 66, of Springfield, Virginia, was killed Tuesday afternoon near National Park, the Metropolitan Police Department said in a statement. Anwar was working as an Uber Eats driver, says a GoFundMe page set up by his family. "We are devastated by the tragic news, and our hearts go out to Mohammed's family during this difficult time," an Uber spokesperson said, according to affiliate WTOP. "We're grateful the suspects have been arrested and thank the Metropolitan Police Department for their diligence with this investigation." The girls, 13 and 15, assaulted Anwar with a taser while carjacking him, which led to an accident in which he was fatally injured, police said. The girls were charged with felony murder and armed carjacking, police said. The younger girl is from the southeast section of D.C., the older from Fort Washington, Maryland, police said. Anwar emigrated from Pakistan in 2014, his family said on the GoFundMe page. He was a beloved husband, father, grandfather, uncle, and friend who always provided a smile when you needed one. He leaves behind a family, near and far, who cherish, love, and miss him dearly, the family said.
And out of Kingston, Jamaica, Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang has condemned the murder of 20-year-old Kenise Jackson, calling it vicious and a tragedy. Jackson's body was discovered on Wednesday on Dyke Road in St. Catherine in a state of partial decomposition after she went missing. The police have taken a 50-year-old mechanic into custody in connection with Jackson's death. Chang said that all murders require strong condemnation, however, said it was particularly disturbing when a young woman is preyed upon and killed. The minister said it was encouraging that a person of interest has been taken into custody. According to Chang, he has instructed the police to leave no stone unturned in bridging Kenise's killer to justice. He also urged anyone who may have information on Kenise's murder to contact the nearest police station. Quote, "Recovering the soul of our nation requires that a strong message is sent to those who prey on our citizens, including women and children, that they will be met with the full force of the law and will be brought to justice," unquote, Chang said. The government will not be deterred by naysayers who attempt to impose stumbling blocks in the way of proven, credible, and strong measures intended to reduce murders in the island, unquote, he added.
Kim Janey, a former education advocate turned city councillor raised in Roxbury, who endured Boston's busing era as a child and was a single mother, was sworn in Wednesday as the city's first black and woman mayor. The historic ascension arrived on the heels of former Mayor Marty Walsh's resignation to become the U.S. Secretary of Labor and placed Janey, the district's 7th city councilor, as acting mayor, the 55th chief executive in nearly 200 years to hold the office, previously only held by white men. Today is a new day, Janey said shortly after taking the oath of office. I stand before you as the first woman and the first black mayor of Boston, the city that I love. I come to this day with life experience that is different from the men who came before me. Wednesday's ceremony, in ways both direct and subtle, paid homage to Janey entering the ranks of trailblazers and the future with this milestone now reached that lies ahead. Chief Justice Kimberly Budd, the first black woman to lead the state Supreme Judicial Court, administered the oath of office to Janey, who stood beside her 6-year-old granddaughter, Rosie. In the audience sat 4 generations of Janey's family, including her mother, Phyllis. Under Janey's hand was the family Bible, once owned by her maternal grandfather, a Baptist preacher. This is a proud day for the city of Boston and all Bostonians. Representative Ayanna Pressley, the first black woman to represent the state in the U.S. House of Representatives, and Bostonians on the city council, said while introducing Janey, "But I know this has a special meaning for those who dare to dream a different future for our city across the generations. Today, that seemingly improbable dream is a reality." Inheriting a city facing the throes of the COVID-19 pandemic and long-standing racial and economic disparities, Janey, 55, vowed to deliver bold, courageous leadership, beginning with unrelenting focus on the once-in-a-century health crisis. She pledged to work to make more testing and vaccines available, particularly in the communities hardest hit by the virus.
For almost 10 years, Patrick Duncan lived in a rat-infested rusty shell of a motor car on 8th Street in the section of Arnett Gardens that residents call Mexico. For all that time, people living in the gritty community were not happy with the conditions under which Duncan, a deaf-mute, lived. But their own economic circumstances did not allow them to give the 59-year-old the kind of help he desperately needed. Eventually, Duncan's plight was brought to the attention of philanthropist Sean Prendergast, founder and president of the United States-based Rudolph Prendergast Foundation, who immediately pledged financial support to build a house with bathroom and other amenities for Duncan. Prendergast then discussed the project with fellow benefactor Claude Big Stone Sinclair and the collaboration-inspired Stream of Hope Foundation, which is also based in the United States, to join the effort along with Powerhouse record label in Arnett Gardens. Quote, "I saw the Patrick Duncan story after it was brought to my attention by Sean Prendergast, who was touched," unquote, Sinclair told the Jamaica Observer. He said the Rudolph Prendergast Foundation was instrumental in buying Duncan $15,000 worth of groceries, and Supreme Ventures came on board and gave him close to $70,000 worth of food. According to Sinclair, he and his colleagues could not ignore the opportunity to help Duncan, especially given the dilapidated conditions in which he was living. Last week, when the Observer went to the building site, Duncan was smiling in sharp contrast to the frown that normally distinguished his face as he walked about the community. And with his new board house near completion, plus the assistance he now receives, the running joke among the residents in that a number of women in the community are eyeing him as a potential spouse. Duncan's friend Errol George Saunders was happy for him. Quote, "He was living in the car, so I feel good for what I see happening. I feel very, very good, and I know Patrick feels good too, even though it not done yet. Me respect and love unu. I never know this would move so fast. I thought it would take another 2 years. I respect all who came on board," unquote, he said.
And I finish, Lady DU, with a very interesting article here from the Jamaica Gleaner. Senate President Tom Tavares Finson has apologized for dropping an F-bomb in the upper house of parliament during a bad-tempered row with opposition Senator Lambert Brown. Brown, who was debating a bill to amend the Disaster Risk Management Act, the DRMA, on Friday, sought to establish his independence as a lawmaker, indicating that he was not obligated to follow a position taken by the opposition leader. He said, "It is well known, Mr. President, that we in the Senate on this side have independence. We didn't sign any undated letters. We are not like you who signed undated letters," Brown charged. He was hinting at a 2015 court ruling that doomed as unconstitutional then opposition leader Andrew Holness bid to remove government senators Arthur Williams and Dr. Christopher Tufton in 2013 with pre-signed undated letters. Brown's remarks came against the background of a comment by leader of government business Kamina Johnson-Smith that opposition leader Mark Golding had informed Prime Minister Andrew Holness that he did not have to establish a joint select committee to examine the DRMA. Brown insisted that a joint select committee was crucial based on the wide powers being given to the Prime Minister to make orders that attract criminal sanctions under the amended law. However, Tavares Finson intervened, reminding Brown of Johnson Smith's remarks. He said, "You don't hear what the leader said, that the leader of the opposition rejected the invitation for a joint select committee," Tavares Finson questioned. The sitting then took a turn that eventually led to scathing remarks being exchanged between Brown and Tavares Finson. "Let I tell you something, Senator Brown. Don't draw my tongue in here today," Tavares Finson warned. Brown retorted, "I don't draw men tongue." The Senate President added, "Everybody know how una reach over there, so don't try that with me in here." And when I use that phrase, I am quoting a well-known Jamaican Prime Minister. "Don't draw my tongue in here today." And he went on to use the F-bomb, finishing feisty. Later, during the sitting, Tavares Finson said he was sorry for making the remark.
This has been keeping you in the know with news happenings and facts with headlines as we present them today to you. Ladies and gentlemen, we certainly have had a composite.
Interesting way to finish it. Oh,
Chris.
Lord have mercy,
Well,
I tell you.
No. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. The lines are now opened for discussion. And there are several headlines we presented this afternoon. One of them being the murder of Kenise Jackson. And to date, Prime Minister Andrew Holness visited the parent, her mother, because her mother and both her and her mother live together. So now her mother is on her own, alone. So while this is just a pitch, okay, so as you know, we'll be discussing that headline in addition to the one that Chris just wrapped up. I'm sorry, but I don't mean to laugh. But have you ever heard?
I mean to laugh.
Have you ever hear anything like that before?
Anyway, continue. I don't mean to interrupt you.
That's all right. In addition to the question that we wanted to ask centered around Kenise Jackson's murder, murder of another young woman, Kenise Jackson grips the hearts of Jamaicans across the world. Should citizens reactivate Community Watch or take matters into their own hands to protect women and children? That's our question this afternoon for Community Life. Now, Chris, you want to tell me that Tom Tavares Finson could not have exercised. Now, note, I know that, there is self-control and there is self-control and there is self-control. Because sometimes people push you to the link, to the level. But man, in the house there, he couldn't rein himself in and now had to come back and apologize. More so.
My oh, go ahead. I'm
No,
sorry,
no,
I'm sorry.
no. Continue, because
Yeah, my interpretation of the entire situation, because I watched the exchange, I believe, I am not defending him, but I believe he muttered it and did not realize,
His mic.
because of the anger, I don't think he realized that it would have been picked up by the microphone so much. Because when they said that he dropped the F-bomb, I listened to the tape like about 3 times, to be honest with you, before I picked it up. And I was like, oh, that's where he
got caught.
I had to listen, like, keenly for it. So,
yes,
probably, that's what happened, But as you say, you have to control himself.
Yes. Let's take a call. We have our first caller for the afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to Keeping You in the Know.
Happy Easter season, Lady D and Mr. Wilby. How are you?
Good afternoon.
Happy Easter season, my
Good
yam
afternoon.
lady.
Sure. Lady D,
You
just burst my bubble. I wanted to pick up the voice myself, to see if I am catching on to the voices of the listeners.
So
I was about to say, young lady.
Lady D.
I'm sorry.
What is going on in Jamaica?
All kinds of things.
Probably you can tell me, you and Mr. Wilby.
All kinds of things, yam lady. We're from murder to dropping F-bomb to man living in a car for how many years?
No,
you
but
know?
the latter news that from the house there. What examples? Let's deal with that first. What thing are we setting for the young people in Jamaica? That's why I said, what is really going on out there?
We are not. We don't have any self-control.
It wasn't. I wasn't out there last year because I'm mad. I can't go home. You understand? So, but there was once there, like 2 years ago. I couldn't believe, because in the same house there, Parliament, I couldn't believe, because they had students there was sitting in the debate and everything, and it was like, oh my gosh, am I real?
It was a mess, right?
The other thing I'm going to call, and then I hang up and listen, is the young lady that they said was raped and tied up and killed. It's just sickening, Lady D.
It is.
What are we? What are we? It is really, really sickening.
It's hard because when finish your
a
thought.
only child, she raised her until she is 20 years old. She did not sit around waiting for mommy. She's out there helping mommy, coming in, with even a penny. You understand? Even a bottle of water to mommy. Mommy drinks some, she drinks some. Come on, Lady D. We was a praying nation. Pastor cursing out, Lord Jesus, everybody going nuts. What are we drinking?
I know. Well, something comes to mind that I heard when I was a child, but I'm not able to mention it here.
Well, a cousin of mine
I wonder if it have anything to do with cats.
I was talking to a family member yesterday, and he brought up with the pastor thing out there, cursing the prime minister, and I said, a pastor? And he turned to me, and he's not a Christian. He don't go to church. He said, remember, the Bible said, many are called, but few are chosen.
Absolutely.
I listen, Lady D. I'm going to hang up. Have a blessed evening.
Blessings,
I think
young lady.
I'll catch up for the Easter.
All right, take care,
All right,
lady.
yam lady. All right, you know what, Chris? So I know we're all over the place because the news is what it is. But when I thought of Kenice's murder, now,
yes,
here in this country, every nook and cranny has surveillance camera. a lot of times people don't realize where the cameras are, until something happens and it is brought into question, right? Now, the last time they saw her was when she passed by. You saw that video, right? She passed by a car that was parked up in her light sky blue top and her little blue skirt. And that was it. They can't seem to identify anything anywhere else. After watching a video that came out with Prime Minister Holness having a conversation with her mother, they have been really stepping up their game in terms of their forensic capabilities. And it is based on that they're acquiring the evidence. However, surveillance cameras and so can't help because there is none. When I saw the headline, Chris, and they said that her hands were bound, I said to myself, what on earth the murderer thought of? Because if a woman resists you, men tend to either slap you, kick you, something. But when they really want to restrain you and to do what they want to do with you, then they go to the next level of bounding you. So can you imagine what her death must have been like? So now somebody is brought into question here, and the world would like to see how this is playing out. It is horrible, 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 horrible. Someone is on the line. Let's take a call, Chris.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Keeping You in the Know.
Good afternoon, Lady D.
Good afternoon, madam. How are you today?
Not too bad. Good afternoon, Mr. Wilby.
Hi, Gloria.
You catch on to this name. Well, it's a distinct voice, so it's easily,
I know, right?
Identifiable.
Lady D, I was listening to you with the interview with the principal from There.
Yes.
Lady D, you're doing a wonderful job. Out of 100, I'll give you 200.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
So it was I couldn't move. I wanted something and I had to sit down. You're doing a marvelous job, and I hope somebody will see and reward you someday for it. Wonderful quality. Interview. It was great.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate
You're
that.
doing a marvelous job, my dear.
Gloria.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You think that she's ready for CNN?
I think that should pass. They should give her the supervisor for CNN, whatever.
Okay.
Give her a top position. I listened to her.
She need a promotion.
Yes.
Right, I need a promotion.
She deserves it. Yes, she's doing a great job. Continue, my dear. And may the Lord bless you.
I want to second that because I didn't want to say anything because Lady D is my co-host, so it may sound as if I'm trying to boost her when I say some things.
You're biased.
But I am happy that, I am happy that you mentioned it because I was
listening to her.
And I was of the same opinion. I was like, wow, Lady D is.
Yes,
she's getting better and better.
She's awesome. Good. She's great. I couldn't move. I was talking to somebody and I said, wait, Lady D's on, and oh my God, it was wonderful, powerful, Lady D. Continue your good work.
Yes.
And I hope somebody will hear and reward you for the good. Exceptional work you are doing.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate
it. Great. All right.
Thank you. Appreciate
You're welcome.
it. Okay. All right. Thanks, Gloria.
All right. Now,
yes, sir.
With that, now, Lady D, kind of take a break and come back down to earth.
Yes, I'm here, man. I'm here. I didn't go anywhere. I'm right here.
Okay.
Yes, but as we were saying, you were going to make a comment on her murder.
Yes, as you were saying, it was a brutal way for anybody to die, but more than likely it is someone who she knew.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times with these kind of murders, it is always somebody who is known to the person and for some reason is trusted, So I am hoping that the police will find the killer and bring them to justice. And, I am one who does not believe in the death penalty, but sometimes when I hear some of these cases, my heart, I'm like, if this doesn't deserve the death penalty, then what does?
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's very, very tough listening into it and
it's horrible.
It's hard.
It's horrible, man. Horrible.
Yeah.
All right. So as we know, today they started off the hearing for George Floyd, and the angle that the defense attorney has taken. Were you able to hear, watch?
Yeah, I was listening to a lot of it. I was in and out of it because I was working. So
yes,
but I heard a lot of it.
Mm-hmm. And so, whether or not Floyd was taking drugs, whether or not he was taking things that didn't belong to him, whether or not, the fact is, the 9 minutes and seconds contributed to his death. So no matter what argument they're trying to build, I hope the prosecutor will pull out all stops to bring this man to justice, because it is just something that when it stares you in the face, I don't know personally if I would have liked to be the judge in this case, but the world will be watching. When he died, it sparked worldwide outrage. People across the world were marching. So they had better know what they're doing when they go to deliberate. And we're talking about the jury.
The jurors.
They had better know what they're doing and to rationalize with the evidence everything that is presented to them. Because God help us in this country and across the world if something otherwise is handed down. Somebody's on the line. Good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Hello, a pleasant good evening to you, Lady D, and to Chris, and to Sister Gloria, and the other lady that called in first.
Yam Lady.
Young lady. Yeah, I would have gotten on earlier, but I had a visitor, my sister, and I had to hustle her out. She said, "Oh, you put me out?" I said, "Yep," because I'm getting ready to go on my program. I said, "You're taking up my time now."
Okay. We appreciate that,
She
Pat.
said, I've been put out at better places. I said, "That's all right. I ain't mad."
That's all right. We like that. We like that.
Talk about dedication,
That's
Pat.
right.
Yes. I said, listen, I am a dedicated listener to Mondays and Thursday evening. I said, you can't come interrupt my time. You impeded on me. You just popped in. I got places to go, people to see, and things to do.
After all, Pat.
Okay. Yes, I was listening to the report, and there are so many stories I could take. But the last one that Chris had dropped, oh, Lord. Sometimes we have to be careful, even though when we think we're speaking under our breath, we got to realize if you're in Parliament and you're in front of the microphone, you can't even grumble. You can't even grumble because it is so sensitive.
Yes.
They will pick you up. But that's a shame, though, But I guess it is what it is. And secondly, the young lady who was bound, tied up, at least this time they were able to catch a perpetrator. Usually they don't even find the body. Because look at that young lady, Jocelyn Dean. Up until now, they have not found her body. So let's take it for what it is, that they at least, they were able to apprehend someone.
Yeah.
And lastly, with the opening today of the Chauvin trial, I don't want to listen. I don't want to hear anything, because the defense, yes, that's why they're called the defense. They're trying to build an argument. They're trying to build a case. But the whole world saw what happened. The fact of the matter is that man had his knee on the innocent man's neck for 9 minutes, whether it's 8 minutes and 30 seconds. That has nothing to do with it. The fact of the matter is you deliberately killed this man. And that's what we have to look at. The whole world will be watching for this trial. And as you rightfully say, when the jury, they go for deliberation, that's what they have to look into. This video that will be circulating is damaging. So those are my few words. I'm just going to give someone else an opportunity to say what they have to say.
Thank
you
much.
again, Lady D.
All
And
right,
I
thanks,
agree
Pat.
with Gloria and with Chris that you should be awarded, a post on CNN. Yep.
Okay. So we'll get that going.
All right.
Thank
Okay,
you.
we'll keep it going. All right.
Thank
Have a
you.
good evening, guys.
Yes, you too.
All right, take it easy, Pat.
Bye-bye. You're welcome now.
Now,
Bye-bye.
Chris, you know
Yes,
what?
Lady D.
So I had my first dose of the Pfizer vaccine this past Saturday.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah. The process was pretty simple. It was conducted at my church, and the city officials came in. They had set up, days prior, and about 400, over 400 people rolled in. Of course, I had a 10:15 appointment. I got there must be 11:15. So when I got there, all of that 398. I'm just joking. But when I got there, almost everybody had gone pretty much. It was just a few people left. And I went up, and they were very courteous people, and they instructed me where to go and so on. And I sat in and then, of course, guess what? I was in sweater long sleeve. Don't ask me. And it was not that warm a day, cold a day. But I like to still keep myself, attired properly for the weather, unless you get to 70, 80, 90. I am not coming out of the sweater just yet. So I pulled up my sleeve, pull it up, man, because, my sweater fit nicely. And she just said, "Are you ready?" I said, "Of course." And I didn't even feel nothing really. I just get a little tip. And that was it. And I am fine as of today. So there are persons out there who have literally fed into a lot of, the negative rhetoric that's out there about the Pfizer vaccine, the Moderna, the Johnson & Johnsons, and, people are talking. But there was the polio vaccine. You have the BCG, right? What other vaccines we have again?
Trying to remember.
Yes, but
the fact remains that every Jamaican, I use a term, is full of vaccines.
Well, hello.
We
we
all were vaccinated when we were children, and it protected us until today. The only issue, the only difference between those days and today is the social media.
It seems so. I think that's what it is. That's exactly what
Social
it
media.
is. I agree. Because you were not hearing so much about when they started working on the vaccine, the timeline, right? To the point now where people are arguing about how they don't believe that sufficient time was given to develop the vaccine. We don't know when we were getting BCG and this and that, how much time was put into developing these vaccines either. And so people are out there literally tracing, being disrespectful, which leads me, the segue into the minister who was just carrying on, and I'm talking about Minister of Religion, who was literally being disrespectful and all of that, and other people who are talking. So let's put it in a broader spectrum, right?
Mm-hmm.
They call the New York, since I live over here, New York was also on lockdown. Barbershop, beauty supply store, restaurants. People were sent home to work from home. The same principle applied here, you know. It doesn't matter which state you were in, it's the same thing.
It applied here also.
It applied
we
here.
were under quarantine, we were under lockdown for the first. When we just heard about it, you know, it was shocking to everybody, and we, you know, remember that the authorities did not know what they were dealing with, and everybody was on lockdown and curfew and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, essential workers were the only people that were allowed to move. The supermarkets were restricted. You know, they had hours in the supermarket when the elderly could shop.
Right.
Nobody else couldn't be caught in the supermarkets before 9 o'clock. You know, and then they started coming up with the 6 feet rule and all of that. So, you know, it's just a matter of the internet, and everybody know, you know, and their grandmother is a doctor, and they have their opinion and they are voicing it, and some of them, they have never even been to school.
There you go.
Some of them never finished first grade. But yet they can come and tell you, and the sad part of it, because I find it very, very sad, is that these people, some of them can't string a sentence together, but they have millions of followers who they are dictating to. And I call these people, I don't want to disrespect them, but I look at them and I'm like, they are following these people who, if these people get sick, the same leaders or influencers, if they get sick and go to the hospital, they are going to take the vaccine.
Seems so.
There is no if and nor but. If they go to the hospital and the doctor say this is what is going to save your life, they are going to take it. I go a little bit further. A lot of people are talking about don't trust this and don't trust that. And if we know what's in the vaccination, in the vaccines. And I'm like, do we know what is in Tylenol?
Yeah, Advil.
You know what I mean? When you go to the doctor and you are sick and you get diagnosed, do we know what make up all of the medication that the doctors give us? No, we don't. But we trust the doctors. They say take this twice per day. Most of us don't even look at the name of the medication that we get.
And then
we just follow the doctor. We trust them, and they say take it twice per day, and we take it twice per day, and we feel better, and we say end of story.
And I agree with you, because what is happening now is that social media is flooded with every little person doing a video and carrying on. Now, this past weekend, they had their lockdown, right? They had to go out and be back in by 12. All of weekend, they were on lockdown.
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday.
Right? They were on lockdown. What a lot of them are grappling about is the fact, especially those who hustle, right? The hustlers who we know you have to hustle to take care of your family. But the same way that when you go out and hustle and get back home is the same thing. You go and you do your shopping and find yourself back in your yard. You buy enough to keep you until. I heard a woman recently, and we have a caller holding online, so please hold a moment. I heard a lady telling Cliff Hughes how she manage when she buy chicken and how she make it up with her greens and so on, and it serve her how much day, so she not in no stress with nobody over this whole lockdown requirement and so on, and the whole COVID and what you can do and can't do. But you know, most of us will die being right. We always want
Yeah.
to be right, so we will die being right. Let's run to the line. Good evening to you. How are you? Welcome.
Good evening, ladies. Mr. Wilby.
Hey, Hortense.
Hello?
Hey, Horton.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, good evening, sir and ma'am. Yes, with that girl that they find over Portmore there.
Mm-hmm.
It's near the Fish Village. They find her body
Mm-hmm.
with her throat cut and stab up and rape.
Mm-hmm.
I get to understand it's her boyfriend. Her boyfriend do it.
Okay.
And they hold on. They catch him.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to know what is wrong with these men. What is wrong with these men? If it's a boyfriend, no, I don't know. I see him today. I must don't hear about this one here. Near Burke in a Spanish town. Him mad, climb from building. I go jump off and the police, them a try get him down a fireman. And he want jump. They say stop up on the police. And he jump in a one guinea tree. And he drop a ground and they say, take him up, team jump. He jump off of the building, jump in at the guinea tree. In a guinea tree. Mm-hmm. And then he drop a ground. No man. The place gone wild. And there was a girl from Central Village. So they couldn't find her from last week. But she turned up. She was with her family member.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, we're happy that
so
one
that
turned
one
up
is
alive.
okay. She's all right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then they said they burned down a house, down a little lane, a Central Village. They burned down one house down there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going on in Jamaica.
Yes, it's.
And with the pastor, because of Andrew Holney, say him, my be a man and this and that, and you hear more something.
Mm-hmm.
All tough gun, God, I go visit him and I make him sleep. Master Jesus, me say, don't think I go to Jamaica there. And how the Prime Minister, a wicked and hypocrite and thief.
Mm-hmm. So we hear.
Oh my God.
So we hear all.
God.
These are interesting times.
Interesting time.
Very interesting times. Mm-hmm. But we're glad to hear you, and you're all right, though.
Yes, I'm all right.
I'm glad to hear
I
you,
want
my
some
love.
food to eat.
Huh? You're too far away. You're too far. I would have stopped by and carried dinner for you, but you're too far away.
Yes. I'm here how they must giving them a give rice and bully beef and something down there to the people them because through their lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
They must go on in a community and I give us food.
Okay, that's nice.
And bully beef and grocery and drinks. All right.
Blessings. Thank you, Hortense.
All right, take care,
All right,
Hortense.
take care, my love.
All right.
Talk to you Thursday.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, Thursday.
All
the
right.
Person, I can't fool you.
So you're not about to try fool me now.
You wait. All right.
Okay, my love. Yes, Chris.
All right.
All right, take
Yes,
care.
lady dear.
Mm-hmm. So, here we are talking about how people can, it's like you send fool a little further, or one fool make many kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not going to go away. They're just people who will not think for themselves. They're people who will always feed into gossip. And
Yes,
they're
you have a
not
set of people.
following credible news.
Right. No, but they disregard the credible sources.
Mm-hmm.
And they call you, they call the credible sources, they call us fools, and they are the smart ones.
There you go.
And it's like a set of people who are always peddling nonsense and conspiracy theories. I don't know why. They have, it's like they have a very negative view of the world. You know, so it's kind of scary, you know, because people are following a lot of these people who they see as influential and they believe in them.
Yes.
And these people, some of them, they start a blog or they start a social media group. They are the head of it, and it's like the power get to their head. You know, so they just say and do anything,
wild.
and they have their followers to back them.
Let us take a
You know?
call. Let us take our final call for the afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Yes. Yes, Lady D, it's Pat back again.
Yes.
You know, I took the COVID vaccine. You know, at first I was very leery, very apprehensive. But when facts presented me, I had no choice but to go along, you know, with the facts. I would rather have the vaccine than to catch COVID. Right now, COVID is killing every and anyone. She has no respect of person. She's crowning whomever comes in her way. And as we can see, so many people in Jamaica right now have COVID.
Yes.
I remember when we were at the epitome of our outbreak, and Jamaica only had a handful, about 10, maybe 20 people, and now look at where it is right now. Right now, there is a young lady who she returned to Jamaica. Her mom is in her 90s. And she wasn't feeling well Saturday evening, went to the hospital, and by Sunday she was dead. She didn't get the COVID vaccine. So for those of us who are fortunate, we are privileged to get this vaccine. I believe people should take it. Now, due to ignorance and arrogance, folks are walking around, especially in Jamaica. They're condemning the prime minister. Him is a fool, and you don't know what he's saying, and they're not wearing a mask, and they're not social distancing, and the whole 9 yards, and yada, yada, yada. But I tell you something, right now, I think there's a lockdown even on the funeral homes because they have so many. They don't know where to put the corpses now. They don't know what they're going to do because if the government is on lockdown, what people are going to do when their loved one pass away?
There you go.
You know, and it is very sad because people are dying from COVID. They're not burying them.
No, sir.
You have to have a cremation.
Yes.
They're not burying. And for people who usually bury their loved one in the country, you know, in the yard, on the property, that's not even working anymore. No, the government has to get involved now. So I believe people should be very much on top of the game. And as far as the vaccines are concerned, I remember as a child growing up, we had to get the DPT, the rubella, the polio, the BCG. I still have this big hole on my left arm
You're not
to
alone.
indicate that that I got the BCG.
Indeed.
So I guess maybe it's the younger generation who are now very hesitant about taking the vaccine. But guess what? If we were not immune, if we didn't get those vaccines and become immune, some of us would have been probably dead already. So
thank you,
I
Pat.
would just encourage people, you know, to go get that vaccine,
All
you
right.
know, and be on the safe side.
Thank you, my love. It's
Okay?
7 o'clock. We got to go.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
All right.
All right, thanks,
Okay,
Pat.
bye now.
Okay.
Bye-bye. You're welcome. Have a
All right,
wonderful
Lady
evening.
D.
Bye-bye.
Yes, Chris Wilby.
All right, take it easy. It was a great show. Thank you once again. Thank all the listeners for participating, and those of you who are listening in, thank you very, very much for being a part of the show.
And
See you
thank
next week, same time, same place.
Thank you, Chris Wilby, for always joining me here on Keeping You in the Know with news, happenings, and facts. Walk good, Chris.
All right, have a good evening.
All right, take care. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got to go. This has been another edition of the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. I will be back on Thursday, God willing, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. to do it all over again for you. As always, love yourselves, love your children, and remember in everything you do, it is the will of God concerning your life. Blessings, a lot of love. Thanks to you, my YouTubers, and to those of us on 104.5, 101.7, and 88.9. CaribbeanVibesRadio.com. My name is Denise Lady D. Gomez.
The flame of truth burning bright. The missing treasure you must
one radio station. Number one radio station.
They play the best music.
Best music for your listening
Radio come to rule, and we have the angle, the tackle, and we have the tool. Yeah, man, Sanchez, I keep it locked. Linkage.
There are radio stations within the air, but to this, none can compare. Trying to figure what to think, because now with us, you're fully linked. Stay linked to Linkage Radio, your home for entertainment.
This station rules the nation.